Welcome back. We got another fun one again for you today. Today we took out the Bergara 7mm PRC. We haven't shot a lot of really big calibers like this where we're driving really fast with a lot of foot-pounds of energy, so this is a little bit of a departure from what we normally do. But I think when you're talking about long-range hunting or like even hunting elk and moose, 7mm PRC is a potentially capable cartridge. I mean, certainly for elk. Moose is a little different because they're just so thick. So we're going to dive into the results after we get done shooting here. Here's the video, a little bit of thoughts as we go along. I'll catch you on the end of this one. First rounds we're going to shoot are, we're going to go lightest to heaviest. These are going to be the Federal Terminal Ascent bullets. $3,091. $3,099. $3,100. $3,105. $3,118. That last one flew a little bit and the bolt was a little heavy. There is an ejector mark on this piece of brass. Overall, the brass looks fine, except for this last piece. We're gonna shoot these. These are the Hornady Outfitter CX bullets in 7mm PRC. I'll put them there so you can check them out. The muzzle energy on this, the muzzle velocity says 3,000. So those last ones were about 3,100 and we got 3,100. So Federal Terminal Ascent living up to the box on their ammo. I'm grouped right there with it. 2926. 160 grained AccuBonds. Next, these are Nosler Trophy grade. $29.93. Supposed to be 30-31. It's a fine group. I mean, it's a minute of deer. Remington Premier Long Range. And what's kind of interesting and attractive about these rounds, they're loaded with spear bullets. I'll be interested to see how these perform. $28.41. Standard deviation of 16.7. These are some Federals with the fusion tipped bullet in them. They're 175 grain bullets. Not a bad group. 28.67 average. 9.8 foot per second standard deviation. 175 grain ELDXs. Average of 28.79. It's probably the best group I've ever gotten out of a Hornady Precision Hunter cartridge ever. Hornady 180 grain ELDM bullet. $2,800 on the dot. Standard deviation of 8.7. All right, so I got the target here. Let's talk about some of these groups. Starting at the top, we had the Federal Terminal Ascent. This one did really well. We stacked 3 right here, and then we had 1 and 1 there. Overall, decent group, 1.18 inches. I would hunt with that. That bullet was screaming well above 3,000 feet per second. Absolutely worst group of the day was with the Hornady CX right next to it here. Over a 3-inch group. I've never been impressed with Hornady CX bullets, and this one is certainly no different. So let's talk about some of the things that we did really well. You can see the other groups here, and I'll kind of hold it up if you want to go back through the video and sort of match up the group to the accuracy. The 2 that I wanted to really point out in terms of really viable loads. Obviously, the Terminal Ascent was a really good one. The other 2 that I would point out are this one here, 1.23 inches, did pretty well in terms of accuracy. I would hunt with it today. The other one that did really well that was shocking to me is the Hornady ELDX, the Precision Hunter. I've never been able to shoot that bullet super well out of a factory load, and this one did really well. It performed super. There was a lot of vertical stringing there, but we got one little kicker and that's about it. So if you ignore the kicker, again, no flyers and ballistics, 0.72 inches. If you don't, it's 1.17. So what's next for the 7 PRC? Obviously, you see behind me, I've got a ton of primers. I bought some Nosler 160 grain AccuBonds, which we shot the AccuBonds today, the 160 grain bullet. We're gonna test these out. I've got some H1000. That's the only Hodgdon powder that's in stock right now. I also have some N565, which could potentially be viable. It might be a little fast for this. So we're gonna test it out and see what happens. Ideally, the goal is, can we do factory but better? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like, share it with a friend if you can. Comment down below if you're using 7 PRC, what your favorite ammo is. I was shocked to see that some of the Federal did really well for this one. So yeah, I appreciate you sticking around to the end of this one. Hope to see you in the next one. I've got some really fun stuff coming, especially the video that's coming next. And if you know, you know, little case, big bullet. We'll catch you then. See ya.